أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله الكبير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله الكبير. Again, we are grateful to God for giving us this opportunity, and this is by divine design that we are here, and God has seen it fit for us to be willing and able and eager to fulfill this task and make contact with Him, which is the best thing that could happen to us. So we do this in a congregational manner today, and this is a unique opportunity for us to cherish this moment and to remember that only God can provide this huge guidance for us today. No one else can do it. So this is not because we are more intelligent than other people. God has given us the information, and this information is invaluable. And so through that, we are actually gathering here every week and eagerly seeking God's face. So this is a unique opportunity and a blessing that God has bestowed upon us, and so we should be grateful to Him eternally for this, and make sure that we understand it and keep it in the forefront of our minds and our hearts. And so again, gratefulness and appreciativeness is a godlike quality, and we should follow His path, and which is a straight path. And we ask Him, and there are other paths, okay, that God is not showing us by God's grace, by His grace. Otherwise, those paths would be, God says, we do that every time we do our prayers, okay? اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So there are sirats for those bad guys too, and so we don't want that. Okay, so we want the straight path. So we should remember these and pay attention. So anyway, we should follow, as I said, His path and be grateful to Him, and so we'll be a person who is deserving to go to paradise and spend eternity in the presence of God. So today, what I wanted to discuss with you is that, again, I want to stress these facts that we are in a situation that in this world that we are surrounded by a lot of different things, and sometimes we forget. And so I want to go to chapter 40 and 44, I believe that's what it is. Yeah. So this is the story of this believing Egyptian. This believing Egyptian is a believer in the court of Pharaoh, who was the biggest tyrant and the richest person, and he was leading the armies and everything. He had basically everything that needed to exploit other people. Okay, and he did it to the maximum. Okay, so and so what God when God sends Moses and Aaron, He says, go and tell this guy that enough is enough, man, okay? And maybe we'll take heed. Okay, so God gives this guy a chance. Maybe he's going to go the right way. So amongst all of these people there was this guy, this lonely guy, and he was a man of God. And Pharaoh didn't know that. Okay, Pharaoh cannot read his mind. Okay, a lot of people make excuses. Oh, if we go there, we're not going to be worshiping God alone. That's not true. Okay, that is not true. Okay, you can worship God anywhere you are. You don't have to wear your religion on your sleeve. Okay, this man was a man of God. And so he tells his people, after arguing with these guys for a long time, for Pharaoh and his elders, when Moses and Aaron come, This guy takes their side immediately. Okay? And these other people on the other side, the wielding swords and magic and everything, and they have the wealth to exploit other people, as I said. And so this guy immediately takes these two lonely guys' side. Okay? And one of them has killed a man. Can you imagine that? He comes back and he killed a man and said, well, fellows, this guy killed a guy, okay? You're going to follow him? He can hardly speak, okay? He was stuttering and everything, so he was in a bad shape. Okay? And this guy takes his side. And then after all this argument, he says, you will soon remember what I am telling you. Okay? And I delegate my affairs to God. Indeed, God is the seer of the worshipers. Okay? He understood that 3,600 years ago. Okay? Do we understand it today? Do we delegate our tasks or our affairs to God? Or we try to do it ourselves and complain when it doesn't work? Okay? Well, if we go there, they are going to attack us and this and that, the others. Verse after that, therefore, God saved them from their evil schemes. Okay? When we say those things, we don't believe in these verses. We just talk. Okay? For the sake of talking. Okay? Therefore, God saved them from their evil schemes. While the people of Pharaoh have deserved the worst suffering, the suffering goes on the other side. They are not going to be successful. They are going to endure the suffering. So what happens to these guys? Well, they die, and God says hell will be shown to them day and night. And the day the hour is struck, let the people of Pharaoh endure the ultimate suffering. Okay? They are dead. This death is a state of existence that we cannot fathom right now because we don't remember it. God has made us forget that for the time being. On the day of judgment, you remember that first death. It wasn't very pleasant, as I said. Okay? These guys are going through a second death, and hell will be shown to them day and night. Okay? And the day that the hour is struck, admit the people of Pharaoh into the ultimate suffering. Okay? That's the situation. So, do we believe in these or not? This is what I'm trying to get across. Okay? Do we believe in these things? Do we delegate our tasks or our affairs to God? Or we want to use our own brain to do it? To solve all of our problems. It doesn't work. Look at the world. We have not gone according to the scripture. We have a problem with the scripture, as a matter of fact. By definition, that's actually shirk. So if somebody says that I worship God alone and does the opposite of these things, that person, by definition, is an idol worshiper, as somebody who sets up a partner for God. Because that person's brain and things works better than this in her or his own mind. Okay? That he or she can solve his or her own problems with this new understanding that she has or he has. Okay? So we have to again ask these questions. Forget about everything else, everybody else. What they do or what they think is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You have to be your own judge. Okay? My understanding, you should ask yourself, my understanding is better than this guy who lived 3,600 years ago? Okay? Obviously it's not. If you are trying to not to do this, you are basically saying, I do not delegate my affairs to God. That's what you're saying. If you try to do things on your own things, okay, we can't think about God all the time. We have other things to think about. Okay? We can't do this, we can't do that. God will illuminate your mind. God is the one who teaches you. Okay? God is the one who opens up your mind and your heart and everything. Okay? It's His promise. He doesn't break a promise. He doesn't lie. We are the one who's doing it to ourselves. Our situation is the way it is because of our own way of thinking, because we don't believe in these things. Okay? And we think that we're doing good. And then things crumbles around us because we kept on neglecting what God has told us. And we are now in a situation, okay, which is unbearable, so to speak. Okay? And we're still not thinking about God. We're still not asking to fix our situation. We are not repenting to Him and say, I'm sorry, I didn't do this. I did it my own way. Okay? Immediately after that, therefore God saved him from their evil schemes. While the people of Pharaoh have deserved the worst suffering. The suffering came to them in this world. Remember, the entire army was drowned, including Pharaoh. As he was dying, now I believe in the Lord of Moses and Aaron. Too late, man. Okay? You had a lot of chances, and you abused it. Okay? So, do you think that people who are neglecting and disobeying God's commandments are going to succeed? That they are going to have safety and security and peace of mind? While God has His way of doing things and He's telling you what is allowed and what's not allowed? Okay? And He says these are God's limits, do not approach them. They're not only not approaching God's limit, they are transgressing God's limits. Okay? And then you think that this group of people or that group of people are going to see any time of peace and contentment and tranquility? No. So as I said, few verses here, read them and read the verses before this. He argues with his people. Okay? And as I said, when the truth comes through Moses and Aaron, immediately he takes their side. Okay? Moses said, I want to kill Moses. Why are you trying to kill this guy? This guy hasn't done anything to you. All he's saying is worship God, and he has shown me all these signs. What's wrong with that? But this, as I said, these are the questions that we owe to ourselves. Okay? And then we'll realize that we are doing things the wrong way. We are not, this is Ufawwidu amri ila Allah. Okay? We do not do this. We say we don't do this. We do not delegate my affairs to God. I have my own system that works better. It doesn't. Okay? Your system doesn't work better. Okay? So I'm going to stop here and we'll finish